Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Rozenberg with Mynd Property Management, and I'm joined today with Kyle Stevens, who is the portfolio manager for our San Diego operation with Mynd. Kyle, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Steve. Excited to be here.
So, Kyle, as an investor, what are some of the things in the San Diego market that could cause me to fail? So if you were to drill it down to maybe three things, what would you say the top three things are that landlords will fail because of that?
Totally. So I would say first and foremost would be, from a landlord's perspective, is not having a full grasp or understanding of the current local laws here in San Diego. One of them being rent control, which, as many of us know, kind of took place starting January 1st. Landlords need to be aware of these sort of laws because, there are a whole variety of different aspects of, the government that can take action if you don't follow these laws. So there's injunctions, possibly even jail time, fines, things of that nature. Not only local laws, but if you're an investor and you own a home in a community such as a community maintained by an HOA, I would say homeowners associations even have their own sets of rules and regulations that you must follow, or you can be penalized, financially or many other ways as well. So I would say number one, being on top of your current local laws is a huge priority from an investor standpoint to basically, not or be successful, I guess, in the San Diego market.
Right.
Number two, just jumping into it, I would say from an investor standpoint, a lot of homeowners, especially first-time homeowners, think that they, might be able to kind of, run everything themselves, which is totally normal. I do the same thing myself sometimes. That being said, sometimes investors will want to hire workers to do some work on the property. Those workers might not be insured, and you might be able to put yourself in a vulnerable situation later down the line. There are also other circumstances where there's a maintenance emergency on the property, and let's just say you have another business meeting that came up and you can't tend to it right away. There's a variety of different reasons why landlord might not be available for such a situation.
Sure.
And
They're busy, they have their own life going on, they may not know or know it's a priority, right?
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you there, 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, those would be my top two. I would say number three, in terms of, failing in the investment portion of San Diego, I would say it's just being sometimes, we're a little bit unrealistic with our market pricing. Maybe you can think you can get a little bit more for your property, or maybe, you're in a personally financial situation that you think you might need some extra cash flow. So you try to raise the rent and you might, find yourself in some trouble, or you might find your home sitting vacant. I would say that's probably a big reason why investors might not be successful here in the San Diego market.
Yeah, you get a lot of investors that maybe their note and their mortgage is higher than what the rent could be. And
Exactly.
so they need a higher, in their perception, they need a higher amount of rent, but the market does not bear that. And what ends up happening is the property sits vacant longer, which actually puts them in a worse position because of that.
Correct. Totally agree with you there. Definitely seen it happen before, and we try to avoid that at all costs. So I would definitely say that's probably one of my top three reasons. We want to be sure that we're realistic in terms of setting price points.
No, that's great. And so just to recap on this, because these are very, very important. These are very good. So number one is not knowing the law. And I think a lot of investors, especially newer investors, they don't understand that fully they are running a business when they own a rental property. And they don't understand all the nuances and all the laws associated with that. And these laws are not static, they're ever changing. So we had mentioned the rent control law. That may change in 6 months. It could be totally revamped and different based on votes of the public. And if you're not up on those laws, that could be something that ends up getting you. Another thing could be emotional support animal, eviction law. There's all these other laws that, yes, you can do it yourself. However, you've got to make sure that you're running it like a business and you have policies and procedures in effect, because there are a lot of governing agencies that protect tenants' rights, and you have to make sure that you abide by those laws. And so if you are going to self-manage, I think it's important to know what those laws are and be current with them. I completely agree. The second point you said is about running the show yourself. Now, I personally have never met anyone that is successful that says the reason I was successful is because I did everything on my own. Beginning to end, I did it all. It just doesn't happen. You've got to be able to understand leverage and the old trust but verify. And if you have policies and procedures in place, that's how you can do that. And, a lot of people I have seen, and you tell me if you've seen this, Kyle, but, you own 4 walls and a roof. there's a business running inside those four walls and a roof that takes a lot of leverage and a lot of systems. And that is where people will either succeed or they will fail because they don't understand that it takes a team of people. It's like playing a football game on your own against another team. It's just not going to work, right? Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot of people try to play on their own, and they end up not having very much success because they don't understand the leverage of other people and understanding the value that other people bring. And it's just like you had stated, you know, having somebody work on your property that's not licensed, bonded, and insured, that could be something that could really hurt you. And if you don't know that and don't understand that, that's where you could get in trouble. And that's why you always want to have team on your side, in my opinion, to help offset those potential catastrophes that could happen. I'm sure you've seen that as well, Kyle.
Yeah, so I actually agree with everything that you said. I think you summed it up very well. So yeah, back to the uninsured worker and just kind of home routine maintenance concept. You know, there's been several situations where, specifically here in California, one of the, you know, high priority items in terms of service requests or work orders is, you know, mold related activities. So water damage, things of that nature. You know, if they're not handled correctly, you're not only looking at, you know, property damage and thousands of dollars going into the drywall and structure of your home, but you're looking at actual, you know, court and, you know, potential criminal punishment for the way that you handle certain work orders. So I think it's definitely important that you hire the right people, you work with the right people, you trust the right people. And, you know, that's what we do here as property managers. We take care of your home by hiring such people. And, you know, we always have the best interests of your property in mind.
100% agree. So Kyle, if somebody wants to get a hold of you and learn a little bit more about, you know, just kind of your opinions and advice and maybe talk about managing their properties, how would they find you?
Yeah, so they can find me and our company at mynd.co. It's mynd.co. There's a contact link on there depending on what you're looking to do. We have different departments, and there's even there is a phone call actually to our SoCal region here, and you can contact me specifically. Or you can give our phone number a call. It's 833-4MIND. Either way works, email or phone call. And I look forward to speaking to you.
Great. And if you'd like to know more about and be more involved in real estate, we do have a Facebook group. It's called the Mastermind. So it's MYND, the Mastermind Real Estate Investment Club. So you go to Facebook, you can join that group, and there you're going to have to be able to converse and engage with many different investors, all different levels, having similar challenges or questions that you may have. And it's a way to stay up on current issues and see how other people are handling it. You can also listen to our podcast. We have a podcast show every week. It's called The Mindful Investor, Mindful, M-Y-N-D, Mindful Investor. And it comes out every week. We have industry leading experts on the show. They talk about not only their successes, but we hear about their failures and their challenges and how they're overcoming those and how you can too. It comes out every week on iTunes and Spotify. You can subscribe and listen to the show there. So on behalf of Kyle and myself, thank you for watching, and we'll see everyone later. Bye-bye.